seem to have walked past you guys while I was on my jog. Today we're taking a look at the MOTOActv. It's this device, it's a fitness device with all kinds of things crammed into it. I gotta catch my breath because I'm out of shape, and I'll tell you about it in a second. All right, I'm gonna stop that workout, which was exciting. Now, of course, people are going to compare the MOTOActv to the iPod Nano. As you can see, the Active is much larger than the Nano, but there's a good reason for that. The Active packs in a GPS sensor, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. This thing syncs up via Wi-Fi, unlike this little thing, which may be light and may act as a pedometer, but it can't do what the MOTOActv does. MOTOActv is a fitness device, right? It was tracking me running with a GPS sensor. So when this is paired up and synced with the MOTOActv service, which I think is at motoactv.com, what you'll see is my actual running route. And what you can do is you can get a lot of metrics about that. So if you're really concerned about how long was that run in the first place, or you're like, what was my pace? All of that data is synced up with this device. Now, maybe running isn't your thing. It also handles a lot of other activities, including walking, an elliptical machine, or if you're going to do steps. You do have to tell the device what you're doing every single time, so it's not like it's smartly figuring out what you're doing. If you stop while you're running, you just take a little break, it's going to still count that as running, which means your pace will change. So just be aware of that kind of stuff. As for the actual hardware, it's pretty sturdy. There's a lot of large buttons on this thing, and you don't want to be fumbling around with this touchscreen because you're running, okay? You're tired, you want to just kind of press something real fast. This actually is quite responsive. On top of that, the touchscreen itself is also very responsive. I didn't have to type everything through this because everything is synced via the MotoCast software which you install. This MOTOActv is not just a fitness device. It can be paired up with a Motorola phone if you get the MOTOActv app, which is available for only Motorola Android phones, that is. Here's how it works. You pair the device, it's a pretty simple process. You can get your notifications. You are supposed to be able to answer calls via the screen itself. I was not able to. I don't know if that's just a weird bug or not. But here's one of the weird quirks about this. You can go to the notifications, you can select one of the notifications, but after you read it, it doesn't seem to update the phone. You still have everything in your notification tray. You might like that, you might not like that. For me, I think they should be in sync, but they're not. So even if I look it up on this, by the way, this doesn't change either. These are somewhat separate devices, even though they talk to each other. Now, these headphones are from Motorola. They cost $100. They are separate. They come in with some kind of heart rate monitor so I can get better metrics with the MOTOActv, but the MOTOActv doesn't come with them. It's an extra expense if you want to keep track of your heart rate. As a music player, it's pretty good. I mean, the thing is that everything's intuitive. It's what you expect out of a touchscreen device at this point. And there's a nice handy feature if you are just tired and you're like, I can't run anymore. You just hit the little lightning button. That's your fitness song, which you can set right on the device, by the way. You don't have to do that on the Motorola software. You can do it on the device thanks to some smart thinking there. And of course, I get to listen to Copacabana as my extra power song. If you wanted to, you could use the MOTOActv as a watch. There are a couple of time faces built in so you can have an analog look. A weird one is a skull if you want to be kind of tough and bad with your MOTOActv, you could have that. On top of that, when you're actually looking at the display, there's always a calorie meter and there is the amount of steps you're running. So that's always nice to see right up front. When we tested out the MOTOActv, it only had a couple of workout modes, including running and walking. But a new software update brings 40 activities, including skiing and dancing. On the pro side, this is actually a pretty solid piece of hardware. The touchscreen is very responsive. The big buttons make it very easy to press when you're running. It's got a really nice design when it comes to its aesthetics. On top of that, Motorola was very smart to make sure most of the stuff you were doing was on a computer. Again, even with the touchscreen, you don't want to be putting in Wi-Fi passwords and all kinds of things like that. All the sensors built in, another giant pro. GPS, you actually know which route you're running. Wi-Fi, so you can sync it when you're on your Wi-Fi network. And Bluetooth, so if you wanted some Bluetooth headphones, you could do that and you could pair it with a phone. On the con side, when it comes to the MOTOActv, I found it kind of strange that the notifications don't seem to sync up properly with the phone. On top of that, it's $250. That's for the 8GB model. You really want to have metrics, then that'll work for you. If you want some kind of cool little nano competitor, this isn't the right device for you. All right, so is this a try, buy, or bye-bye kind of device? Well, it's definitely a try. If you are willing to spend some money so you can have your fitness tracked really well, this is the thing for you. You gotta think about it. $250 isn't so bad if you're morbidly obese and you have huge medical bills. It's only $250. But if you're gonna use it as a music player, it's not really that worth it. If you're gonna use it like a Dick Tracy watch, not worth it. But if you wanna get fit, you should give this thing a try. I'm Iyaz Akhtar with Twit, and I got a run to complete. I'll see you guys later.